Do you feel that sometimes when you wake up in the morning, your creativity is like a switch that was turned off? Well, that is something that happens to all of us. Therefore, in this video, I will show you 3 tips that can keep your imagination and creativity to the highest level. Hi, I'm Mario Kilian and welcome back to another video. Well, the first consideration is a phrase that doesn't come from a good photographer. It came from a scientist a long time ago. Albert Einstein said that if you change the way you look at things, the things you look at will change. And what that really means. For example, in this simple hide for the winter I found in the way, we have more than one option to take a picture of this. The first one is just to take a picture because we find it nice. Of course, that can be a good picture, but maybe a little bit boring. Now I have to change the way I look at this hide. And of course, that means that it will change the way the hide look at. For example, I can do a walk around them and see how I can take a better picture. Maybe a good idea can be to use a foreground to show the hide and maybe to tell a story about it. After I walked around, maybe a good idea is to take a picture from the inside. Or to use something that shows me that we are in the middle of the woods. Maybe not to get it all in focus and try to get just blurry the background. I found some mushrooms here. Take a look. I can take a classic photo of it, or I can change my point of view. So don't forget, once you see something interesting, change the way you look at it. My second point is, a photo is not just a picture of something. A photo is not just a picture of a bird. A photo needs to tell a story. A photo of an airplane, it's not just an airplane, it's an airplane landing. It's not just a car, it's a car in a race. It's not just a bird, it's a bird fishing. It's a bird giving foods to his chicks, but you have to find out the story you want to tell behind a picture. And how can I do this? I just have to think, once I find something interesting to take a picture, I have to think, what story can tell this a bird? What's supposed a bird to do? A bird supposed to fishing, to fly, to give foods to his chicks. All these things you have to keep in mind when you will take a picture. Even if you can only take a picture of a tree, you can take a picture of a tree that says not much, but you can take a picture of a tree and all the wood cut in the side and tell the sad story about what is happening in this forest. So always keep in mind, once I want to take a picture of something, what could this something do? And in this moment, take the picture about this doing this thing. Never forget that through the photo I'm taking, I will show to others what was happening in this moment or what is happening in this moment. A sat, for example, a soldier, like my grandfather take pictures. It can be a soldier or it can be a soldier fighting a war. Nothing more terrible than that. So, always think it. And the last point comes thanks to an impressive street photographer I always try to keep in mind when I'm taking pictures. Saul Letta. Saul Letta said once, "There are things that are out in the open, and there are things that are hidden. The real world has more to do with what is hidden. That means that sometimes we don't need to show exactly all we want to show. Sometimes we have to let some things into the imagination. Just let to play with colors, with different textures, with forms, with speeds, but try to keep some things hidden. This is the key concept of Soul Letter. And so, that's all for today. I really hope this video helps you to improve your creativity and imagination. If so, maybe you consider to subscribe and give it a like so others can see this video too. Now, go out and take your best pictures. See you next week. Bye bye.
I've seen a lot of change, been through a lot of pain. Some things are not the same as they were a year ago, but all will be okay. I move on each